Space versus time. Offense versus defense. Mario versus Sonic. Rosalina versus Silver. No more rematches, no more gimmicks. 2 fighters, 1 winner. Final face-off. Welcome to episode 24 of Cartoon Fight Club. This episode is the final face-off between Rosalina and Silver. If you have not seen the Total War between Mario and Sonic, I highly recommend you do that first. But if you have seen the Total War and you know how the game is played, then let's get ready for the final face-off. Quick recap of the Total War. As you've seen in that episode, the battle at full power could not come to an end, because Rosalina would keep restarting space, but Silver would keep resetting time. In the end, 2 entities like that will never give in. But this time, we will feature a physical-only battle to see who is physically the better fighter, Silver or Rosalina. That being said, let's introduce Cartoon Fight Club's 24th round of fighters. Silver the Hedgehog is a time traveler from Mobius who traveled back in time to prevent the devastation of his world. He sought to save his future by stopping the actions of a traitor to the Freedom Fighter clan. Silver's main powers relies within his psychokinesis. This is his ability to manipulate the environment around him with the power of his mind. Silver is a definite master of this skill, being able to telekinetically lift and grab up to 50 tons. Silver can also use his psychokinesis on himself to enable flight at speeds that rival Sonic's. Silver's psychokinesis is a powerful force on its own. With it, he can exert enough pressure to bend meter-thick steel bars, crush robots with a single grab, and immobilize others' movements completely. When repelling objects with his psychokinesis, Silver can throw them with enough force and speed to crush metal, fly tremendous distances, and even stun enormous monsters. Additionally, Silver can use his psychokinesis to grab onto certain non-solid objects such as fireballs and certain types of energy blasts. Silver can even use his psychokinesis to repel metaphysical forces such as telekinesis and magic. Silver's psychokinesis can project pure psychic energies that manipulate into energy-based attacks, such as sharp blades, pulses to strike his targets at all ranges, and even a burst of energy that could paralyze his targets. If Silver wanted to, he could really just use his psychokinesis to block and clog his enemies' blood vessels to give them heart attacks. Or he could simply just slightly move your brainstem, which would give his enemies an instant stroke. Now, Silver may sound all big and bad, but don't let that fool you. Silver can be quite presumptuous and naive. He may be smart when it comes to applied sciences, but when it comes to everyday basic logic, he falls flat. He can easily be fooled, which could lead him into trouble. Also, if he overuses his psychokinesis, Silver can become extremely fatigued and even faint. His psychokinesis is limited and it quickly drains his power. Overall, Silver has enough power to instantly kill basically any of his enemies. The question becomes, is he logically applied enough to realize that? Let's move on to Rosalina. Rosalina is the adoptive mother of the Lumas and also watcher of the cosmos. The mysterious Rosalina lives in the Comet Observatory with the Lumas. She first traveled with them in search of their mother. Over time, Rosalina realized that she actually is guardian of the Lumas and that she possesses the ability to recreate the existence of everything. Rosalina follows a strict archetype previously set by the Stargazers as a protective lifestyle for day-to-day routines. In other words, Rosalina knows pretty much everything when it comes to protecting others. Rosalina also has a special ability known as telekinesis. Her telekinesis is very similar to Silver's psychokinesis, but at the same time, it's also extremely different. Psychokinesis literally means mind movement. It refers to the psi ability to influence the behaviors of matter by mental intention alone. Telekinesis means distant movement. It completes the same task, but offers different ways of getting it done. Basically, psychokinesis is the ability that strictly involves the mind, while telekinesis is dependent on many other factors, such as one's metaphysical status and magic. Rosalina's telekinesis is moderately strong. She can use it to lift simple things such as tennis balls or Goombas. Nothing too crazy, but she does have something in her arsenal that is crazy, and that is her force fields and shields. Rosalina has arguably some of the strongest shielding powers in fiction. She can create shields that withstand quasars, nebula typhoons, supernovas, and even black holes. The shields can protect Rosalina from pretty much any type of physical attack. Rosalina may seem like a goddess, but she is human after all. Her body does have limits, and most of her power relies on power stars. One of her biggest flaws is that she has little to no offensive fighting experience. Outside of Super Smash Bros., Rosalina only has been on a few adventures that involved her actually committing offensive tactics. Her main fighting experience mainly only comes from mere Goombas and Koopas. She has little to no skill in hand-to-hand fist fighting. Overall, Rosalina is recognized as a superhuman watchkeeper for a reason. She has unbreakable shields and a strong magical arsenal. Her biggest flaw is her lack of experience and her human limits. And now, let's get ready for the fight. This battle is going to take place in the Nebular Stadium, and it's going to occur right after the events of the Mario and Sonic Total War. This way there can be no distractions and just a one-on-one between Rosalina and Silver. Let the battle begin. Final face-off.
There will be no more interruptions! Must die! I won't hold back. Here I come!
Oh boy, Alright, before any of you guys rage, please let me explain why Silver wins. I'll first start by saying this outcome will only pertain to this circumstance, being the 2-year prep time Total War scenario. If there was another scenario that involved super forms and no prep time, there would have been a different outcome. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about how Silver tactically beats Rosalina. In terms of speed, strength, and skill, Silver and Rosalina are both pretty much evenly matched. That is not where Silver tips the edge. What this really is a debate between space and time and telekinesis versus psychokinesis. The telekinesis versus psychokinesis debate has been going on ever since the ideas of the two powers were created, and it always ends on the same points. Telekinesis is really nothing more than an undervalued version of psychokinesis. Psychokinesis is far more efficient and far more reliable throughout any realm of fiction. The case for Silver works exactly the same. Silver's psychokinesis is mind only. Now the big question is, what about Rosalina's shields? Well, guess what? The shields are very powerful, but to physical attacks only. It's simple logic, people. Mind over matter. Silver's psychokinesis doesn't even have to go through the shields. If anyone knows how psychokinesis works, Silver could literally use it within the realm of the force field. He doesn't have to create an energy beam that goes through the force field. He can create one that's already inside the force field. Now the final debate, space versus time. Why on earth does time take the edge? Well, that answer relies within quantum physics. As we both know, space and time can technically be seen as illusions. All of Rosalina's powers adapt around the idea of manipulating space. That's through creating shields, force fields, working her telekinesis, and all of Silver's powers rely on the idea of adapting time. His psychokinesis is really more of a time manipulation power, as he uses it to not only move objects, but to freeze them. Time is an idea. Space is an entity. What I'm trying to say is there can be time without space, but there can't be space without time. In the end, this victory, quantum physically, has to go to Silver. Now, if you really believe in this specific circumstance that there could have been an alternate ending or some kind of misrepresentation, I will give you the chance to comment down below alternate reality. Now, since this is the final face-off and I am definitively giving the victory to Silver, if I am to ever create an alternate reality, it would really need a lot of your comments. So if this episode gets Silver 9000 alternate reality comments, I will consider re-looking what I have researched. But for now, the final face-off stands a Silver victory. Also, please comment down your ideas for future Cartoon Fight Club episodes. They may even become a future episode of Cartoon Fight Club. Stay tuned, because the next fighters are going to be revealed on the next episode of Cartoon Fight Club.
But it's time to